well, despite the controversy surrounding the most recent balance patch, a couple nice things we did get is 2 brand new Oblivion monsters in Delphoi and Akasha. Not only do they Oblivion, but they're the only monsters in the game that both Oblivion and increase the cooldown, so I'm excited to try out Delphoi today. In my opinion, Delphoi is going to be our newest dupe-worthy 4-star for Siege. I think the last one we had was Windy. Whenever that was released, people recognized that that would be our 4-star wind equivalent of Tractor that doesn't get defense broken, does decent damage, and has a good kit overall. I think Delphoi is going to be the new ones of those. To me, support units are usually good dupes to begin with because they seem to be good across metas, so I'm really excited to see Delphoi, which did have some use back in the day. I think people would use her as a copper leader, like Delphoi Amnesty Copper, that kind of thing. So adding this Oblivion and cooldown reduction, I think will make her viable in a lot of different scenarios. As far as runes go, I think a typical Violent Will build will be what you want. I like to have Will on pretty much all of my offense units with few exceptions, but certainly for her, I think Will is the way. I don't think she's much of a defense unit, just strictly offense. I don't think she provides enough as far as defenses go. So you can do speed HP, speed defense HP. I would look for a decent amount of accuracy. So I have 58% plus I think it's 16 on my artifacts. So not quite 85, but I don't think I'll need 85 very much. Like, I feel like if I'm too reliant on her landing Oblivion or the cooldown reduction, then it's probably a bad team. I don't want to rely on it. I'd rather it just be a nice additional thing when it happens. That said, if you can get to 85, by all means get to 85. I would prioritize accuracy over resistance since she gives herself immunity. You can start with will runes, so resistance isn't as important, but she has a support, so just speed, HP, defense, accuracy, and resistance are really all you need. You could look for crit rate for her skill 1, but I don't think it's that significant. I would just look for efficient stats and be speed tuned. Try to aim for plus 128 to get to the 239 breakpoint, or you can aim for any of these other speed breakpoints depending on your rune quality. So with that, let's get into some testing against some various meta defenses. Alright, so my first thought is to bring her into Kinki because Kinki has a really strong passive and is really popular in high G3 Siege, it seems. Defenses aren't too strong right now in general, but it seems whenever you get to the higher ranks, people are running some Kinkis, so understandably so. He's got a pretty loaded kit. Despite that, there are plenty of ways you can deal with him. So just showing runes, we have a Despair Destroy Kinki, a Violent Will Lulu, decent amount of speed there, and then a Violent Will Iunu, which can hit pretty hard. A little low on the crit rate, but that's fine. I'm going to bring Kamoon. Here's my Kamoon runes, or one of my Kamoons anyways. Violent Destroy, plus 150 gets him to 286 with lead. I showed the Delphoi, Violent Will, and then here's my Jubel on a double Revenge Endure because I want high resistance in addition to high accuracy, so I have some more accuracy here. Should get higher skill 2 for that provoke, but at least I got the defense break. So that's what I have. Let's get into it. My thought process here is to provoke the Lulu, keep Lulu provoked, and then reset the Iunu with the Delphoi skill 2, and then just have Kamoon finish him off. So Iunu should be the first one to die. Second one to die would be Lulu, and then save Kinki for last. I think most of the time when people hit Kinkis, the best strategy is to save Kinki for last. So the only issue is the immunity that Lulu provides, basically. So we got both the Oblivion and cooldown reduction there, which is nice. It is kind of cool that as long as one of them lands, you're kind of in a good spot. Ideally, the cooldown reduction should land in this case because Lulu can just like cleanse the Oblivion. So the Oblivion isn't too strong in this particular case until Lulu is dead, and then when Kinki is left over, the Oblivion should be helpful. So that's what I'm thinking. No provoke yet, but we're okay. Kinki should be hitting Jubel, giving me attack bar, which is nice. The proc back into immunity kind of sucks there, but it is what it is. And we'll increase cooldown again. Almost killed there. Just keep working over here. Should be dead Iunu soon enough, and then yeah, that's a dead Iunu. And this is a 2v3 I would be like really surprised to lose with. So what's the fear here? I guess the fear is Kinki sneaking in defense breaks through the immunity. There's no strip, so you're like guaranteed that 2-turn immunity. Maybe if like you unfortunately violent proc out of your immunity and then Kinki like despair stuns you or violent procs, lands defense breaks, and then Iunu just like one shots. Something along those lines. I guess that's how you could potentially lose. Let's I'm okay with the defense break. Let's try to land that. Nice. Nice little proc there too. And provoke. Really nice. See, what can potentially happen because of Jubel's passive too is Kinki hits him, gives him attack bar, and you just keep increasing that provoke on Lulu. That's what happened the first time I used this. So, seems pretty solid. Just do that one more time. That's a dead Lulu. And we can auto the rest of the way. I don't think they have any opportunity to win here, even with its Despair Destroy. Like, I don't see it happening. It'd be really impressive to get soloed here. There's too much support with the shield from Kamoon and the healing with the Delphoi. Let's see what people are saying. Jubel OP versus Kinki, I agree. I did see someone disagree with me on my video about Jubel against Kinki because, well, I don't even know the reasoning. It says up a nice Iunu or cocky kill, yeah. Well, anyways, this seems really solid. It's only 2-0, which isn't a huge sample size, and of course you could find like 100 resistance Lulus. I don't think the one I'm hitting is 100 resistance, but overall the rune quality on this defense is nice. Anyways, give it a shot. I'm sure it works in a variety of ways. Alright, so this next one is kind of a pseudo mirror. We got double support Suuki versus double support Suuki. So this Triana Molly Suuki I've seen a little bit. I did see it during the tournament somewhat, but anyways, a Violent Destroy Molly, Violent Destroy Suuki, Violent Will Triana, real tanky, not a crit damage build. I don't know if you want crit damage builds on this particular defense, but anyways, I think it's runed relatively well. My Delphoi, my Fran is not on Violent. I just don't want to move runes. Like, I can't afford to move runes. I don't have mana, so that's that. But my Suuki's on a efficient Violent Destroy set, and anyways, we'll see how it goes. I think this is another case, honestly, where the Oblivion isn't as significant as the cooldown reduction, particularly in the case of Triana. I think it's good for Molly. Like, the Oblivion on Molly is nice. The Oblivion on Suuki probably won't ever get used. I think I'll stick with using her skill 2 on the Triana mostly, because I want to kill the Suuki ASAP, and then I'll be in a 3v2 where it's 2 supports that have no damage, so that's kind of my thinking. Now, I don't necessarily need to put up immunity yet, so I'm not going to. Okay, let's keep working on you. Got all 3 debuffs that will get cleansed here soon from Molly or Triana. Honestly, either one could do it. Let's put it on the Triana, I think. Let Molly do the shield. Okay. I do have a accuracy set on my Fran, so my Delphoi gets, well, Delphoi and Suuki both get 10% more accuracy, which isn't super significant for the Suuki. I guess you get the defense break more because that's his only defense, or his only debuff is his skill 1 defense break, which is certainly important because it's my only defense break. But I think it gets my Delphoi close to max accuracy. And this does, I think, take a while. At least the first match took a while. I did kill Suuki, but then Triana Molly's just like, God, it's just torture. Triana Molly's so annoying to fight. Now we'll stick with this on the Triana. Keep working on this guy. Still no defense break. I don't know, I just kind of glanced at the runes, but I don't think it was max accuracy. But yeah, I'm not rushing to use Delphoi's skill 3 if I don't need to. Oh, my Fran kind of squishy. I'll just stick with skill 1 there. Big heal here. And Let's go here. This might be enough to kill. Well, unless Molly takes the turn and cleanses the defense break. She doesn't cleanse though. Well, let's see if this kills. Just enough. Very nice. See, I didn't have to worry about Triana's passive because Delphoi put it on cooldown. That was a little scary with my Fran being low, so I think I should put like water reduction on Fran. And certainly if this was a real siege, I'd use the Violent Will Fran with like actual runes on it, not this Shield Will accuracy that I have on it currently. I use this Fran for Fran, Cyan, Malacca back in the day, which I haven't used the offense in a long time. But I used to use it all the time. And so she's just on an accuracy set to give my bombers more accuracy, and then Shield Will for Shield Will purposes. You know, it's a turn 2 team. But most offenses these days, I don't think I can bomb because it's all Triana Molly. It just gets cleansed. Yeah, we'll do this. Do this again. So this is the part where you just kind of get stalled. Like, hopefully land your defense breaks, which first match I was not landing my defense breaks at all. This is going so much nicer, which is great since I'm recording. I am recording. I just had to double check. It would be really sad if I wasn't recording. I've done that plenty of times. But anyways, I think it's solid. There's probably better options than Fran too. Like a Lulu's probably a bit safer, but I like the attack buff. And again, having her on Violent would probably be ideal. Now I've run out of words. Like, I've won. You can skip ahead and skip to the next match if you want. I'll try to remember to put timestamps in. I don't know how I just like keep talking. Alright, match is over. On to the next one. Alright, so I figured we should try her out in a 5-star tower. I think for the most part I'll probably use her in 4-star towers, but you know, why not give it a go in the 5-star towers? So we have a Savannah, Tian, Lang, Nana, very free to play. The Savannah here, Violent Will, decent set, good speed, good attack, very fast Molong, holy crap, Violent Will. And then a Violent Destroy Nana, pretty tanky, max accuracy with lead, a lot of attack too, probably some additional damage by attack, speed, HP attack, okay. So we're doing a double Oblivion, so that's kind of neat. Double Oblivion and Riley for additional support. I think we're just gonna be Oblivioning, is that a word? As much as we can. Maybe we can Oblivion the Nana with one and the Savannah with the other. Starting off with lots of procs. Big damage, nice little revenge heal. Let's go on the Savannah to start. Okay, Oblivion there, and I think I need a heal. Put up immunity. And heal again. So I guess we probably would have lost right at the start if Savannah got an additional turn, but luckily that didn't happen. So 1 life down, and in human form, let's shut off this passive. Very nice. I don't think I got the cooldown reduction. Yeah. So strips, no stuns though, so that's good. Some more healing there. It is nice that there's 3 AoE people into this, so Riley's really strong. Like, she'll have her skill 4 pretty damn often. Kill the Savannah. Slow the Tian Lang. No slow. I mean, my crit is kind of like really low. I think it was like 28 or something, so don't expect to land it too often. We'll try slowing the water unit. Oh, just a crushing. Sure, we can do immunity. And yeah, some more immunity. Get rid of the attack debuff. I think with Savannah dead, they lack damage at this point. They can't get through this much healing. So in this case, I think the only loss would be if I had crappier RNG at the start than I did here. Like if they killed Riley at the start, that would have been an additional Nana stack, and I'd be down, you know, a very good support. So I don't think I'd win that 2v5 at that point. But who knows? anyways, I'm thinking Delphoi is pretty freaking solid and can be used all kinds of different places. So I don't think she isn't fusible, is she? I think she's fusion material, but you can't fuse her herself, so that's unfortunate. I'm like thinking of making dupes already, but I don't think I have one in storage. And yeah, if I can't fuse her, then I just have to wait to summon another one to make more. But I'll use the one that I have when it seems fit. So there's 3 different places I found to use her. And I think the typical setup is double support with some kind of bruiser, like a Suuki or Kamoon. Just like 1 defense break, some additional support unit that's either giving shields or extra healing. I know like Harmonia Vigor Jubel or Harmonia Vigor Royd is a popular 4-star tower. Delphoi's probably good there. And you could do like a Lucia Delphoi with probably Suuki or Kaki. I generally like Suuki because he's tankier. I guess if it's Royd, you probably don't want to use Suuki. If it's Jubel, you could use Suuki. Royd would probably mess Suuki up. But you could do Fuki in that case if it's Royd. Or I want to do Kaki because of the vigor. So yeah, I would use Suuki into Jubel. I'd use Fuki into Royd. When Dundine, Delphoi, you remember her name. Never used her really very much, so don't know her name that well. Delphoi, Elucia. So this would need to have his own defense break. So Omnimush is fine. Anyways, I'm just keep talking. Don't need to keep talking. That's all for this video. Thank you all for watching. Build yourself some Delphois. I think she's certainly dupe worthy, and she'll be one of the best support siege units up there with, you know, Lulu and the likes of them. Maybe not quite Lulu Riley quality, but certainly got her uses. So that's all for this one. Bye, everyone.